Hello, Taurus. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Telema Tarot. I believe it's Telema. I believe the H is silent. Somebody sent me the pronunciation, so I'm trying to make sure I say it right. There's the other side of the box, and here's how it's spelled in case you want the deck by Renata Lechner. There you go. The support of Oracle cards is the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Alright, first part's going to be relationship. Second part is going to be single. Oracle cards come out where necessary. I'm already getting the sense that this is kind of jumping forward in the sense of like this situation doesn't seem to last long, whatever's going on here. And you're standing in a spot of the tower, which I guess that's why it seems that way to me, because you know the tower doesn't a tower doesn't fall down over days and weeks and months. It can. I get your point there. But the way this is feeling is like it's just like, it's lightning strike done. The way this card feels is like this situation doesn't last very long. But I'm getting that you are kind of caught off guard a little. Now, what's under this card? See, I don't see this going that badly for you or for your partner, but I do see when the initial shock happens, your partner's standing in the spot of the Two of Swords. They don't seem to know what to do. So I'm getting that I feel like you're the one who's just kind of like, it's kind of like it happens, and then you're like, all right, kind of like, all right, this fell over there, that fell over there, let's gather these, let's gather those, let's get the plan back together, how are we going to do this a little differently? Like, I'm getting you're the one moving forward on it first. And I don't feel like you're purposely jumping ahead, but I feel like it's one of those situations where there's a mess everywhere, and you can't sit back and mull it over. You have to just start moving. And I feel like that's part of the tower going on here, so you're moving forward, because I feel like you're just kind of like, oh boy. And then it's all laying all over the place, and you're like, all right, you start gathering those, I'll start gathering these, and we'll work out a plan as we go, but we need to do this now. I feel like that's how you're handling this, because you kind of have to. There's not really a choice here. Now, I'm getting here, your challenge card is the Ace of Pentacles, is to reconstitute something stable from something that is currently unstable. So right now it's all in disarray, it's all a little crazy. But the challenge is for you to like rebuild something with a lot more stability. And I feel like this is one of those situations kind of like if you're building a puzzle and it's almost like, well, all right, I know that the borders look like this, so I'm going to do the borders first, and then I know this part is connected with this border. Like, I feel like you're starting with the pieces you know, like you're starting with the framework, and then you're building from there, and you're building what you know first, and you're mulling over what needs to be filled in as you go, because it's kind of almost a multitask situation. Rebuilding what you know the structure needs to be, while still thinking about how do I want to do the interior differently so that it actually works this time. Alright, now, I'm jumping over to your partner's side, because I feel like you're kind of like, all right, let's get moving on this. I'm getting your partners. No, they're not following your lead on this part. What are we talking about? I feel like your partner, as you start the framework, your partner seems to be thinking more about the interior, about what has to be different. I'm getting this is kind of how this is coming together. You seem to be trying to clean up what fell apart and rebuild the framework as stably as you can, because I feel like you're looking at this, it's not really the framework, it's like what was on the frame. It's almost like it's like it was an aluminum frame and you had rock walls and it was just way too heavy for the aluminum frame, whatever that was. So it kind of came in on itself. So I feel like you're rebuilding the frame with more strength, and then you're talking with your partner like, what do we need to do that this isn't going to cave in? That we have to make sure that whatever we put on this frame, the frame can withstand the weight, for an analogy there. Because I'm getting your partner has the fertility and their challenge is to like take this in a different direction. I'm getting that the Three of Wands with the fertility is like, take this in a different direction, take it somewhere else. It's got to be different. Like the frame may be the same, but instead of having stone walls, maybe they should be wood walls this time, for one example. And like being very conscious about what the frame can hold. Because I feel like your partner's taking this a different way, and I feel like that's what the Three of Wands is saying. Like, there's a different way to do this. I need to get over there and see what that's about and pull that together. And I feel like they're doing their part about changing what goes on the frame. I feel like we're just using these building analogies for whatever reason, but that's fine. And I'm getting your partner is feeling a lot better about this in the sense of like, I'm getting your partner expected something to go wrong at some point, and now that it has gone wrong, they're seeing a great opportunity to make it go right. It's almost like, yes, things fell apart, whatever it was, this shock to the system, but they were kind of thinking it would. And now that they get a chance to reconstitute it, this is the judgment in their favor, because now it can be rebuilt. They trust you to make that frame what it needs to be, but now they're aware of like, all right, this is what overloaded the system last time. This is how we're going to do it this time, and it'll have more security, more strength, more dependability to it. Now, I'm getting like as the two of you are going together, I just kind of get that you're leaving it to your partner, and you're not sure what they're doing or where they're going with it, but you're trusting that they know what they're doing. It's a little uneasy here, but I don't feel like you can do everything yourself. So you have to have some trust in your partner here, and I feel like you're leaving it to them. I feel like you'd like to know a little bit more about what they're planning, what they're deciding, what they're thinking about, but it's just not feasible at this time is what I'm getting. All right, so as we keep going forward, I'm getting you're putting a lot of effort into this. I'm getting, even as you're reconstituting the frame and getting that all set where it needs to go, you're scrutinizing your own work. I'm getting you're scrutinizing your own work. You're very conscious about the situation, what happened before, how it fell apart before, and you're very critical about your own work because you're like, oh, this could easily fall apart again. I have to make sure. I even feel like you're reworking certain situations, that type of thing. I feel like I'm seeing these analogies and they're all building, like constructing a home is what it feels like. It's weird. I don't feel as connected with this as usually I would, so it's kind of strange. That's strange. Your partner is very sound in like, they're looking out for what you want, what you need, what they want, what they need, the whole situation. Like, it's not just you and them, it's like how the whole situation affects other people. There's a lot going on here. Your partner in the spiritual sense is very much the one in control of making sure all the pieces fit together, which is interesting because you're the one who actually pushed it forward. But I'm also seeing this is your spiritual card with the Eight of Pentacles. Like, you're doing a lot of work, and I'm getting like you're scrutinizing things. That still has a weird feeling to me. Like, it almost feels, it feels a little detached. Almost like you're looking at your own work, and it's almost like somebody else did it, and you're picking it apart as if somebody else did it. Is there anything else with this? Like, I feel there's something weird here that I'm not clicking into is what I'm thinking. All right, so we're going to keep going forward because I'm guessing it's going to fall into place, but there's like, I feel like there's this little thing that's just like, it's not really touching. Because I do see this Ace of Swords coming on your side where this is going. This is usually, swords are usually communication, thought, you know, intellect. And when you have the ace, it's like a great beginning, a strong beginning, a solid plan. And I do see that's going forward, but I feel like this is out of... See, this is another thing of it. This is also feeling out of place to me. So what are we missing? I'm feeling like you're having a hard time not falling into the same routine. Oh, okay. So I'm getting like... It's almost like you're detached from the result here because it's different. And I feel like you're scrutinizing your own work because it's not normal to what you do, because you're trying to make the framework tougher, stronger. But then I feel like how it's matching up with what your partner's putting together, you're like, it's overdone. It's too much. It's too strong. It doesn't need to be that strong. And I feel like you're redoing some things and reevaluating it. And I feel like that's why the Ace of Swords is here. Now that your partner's kind of put together a lot of other things, and you're realizing how much weight the structure really needs to hold, you're like, well, a lot of this is overdone then, and it's kind of wasteful, and it's just making things more clumsy than they need to be. So I feel like you're kind of smoothing out the edges a bit. You're reconstituting some of the pieces because you're like, I feel like this is over intense. This is too intense for this situation. I feel like we need to scale it back a little bit. I feel like that's how you're looking at it. Like the original framework you're thinking is too intense, and now you got to pull it back a bit because it just makes things more cumbersome and difficult with the current frame, with what's going to be on it. Like it could be a lot more conducive and easier to deal with. That feels a lot better. Because I feel like you're reworking it because you're thinking it's overdone and it's just going to get in the way. It's too much. So you're kind of scaling it back and you're scrutinizing your own work like, all right, this could hold stone walls, but we're not going to have stone walls. We're going to have wood walls. Let me pull back some of these extra supports because they're just in the way. And they're just cutting down the amount of space we have to move in. That's not going to work. So let me just fix this, widen this, remove that. Not necessary now. And I feel like there's a lot here that's going a lot better. And it's a lot more enjoyable. Because I feel like in the future it's a lot more enjoyable. Once your partner shows you what's coming forward, how they work things out. Because the two of you are working together. Now, I'm getting your partner has the Six of Wands, which to me is victory, and the imagination. I'm getting what's happening here is like the way you're reconstituting things, you're making a lot more enjoyable, but also a lot more secure than it originally was. And, and I feel like the way that you're editing the situation that you've already done, I feel like this feels really good to your partner. This seems to fit what they've chosen. They feel like things have worked out perfectly because there's a lot of security in the system now, but there's also, it's very enjoyable. And the imagination with the victory is like, I feel like they're seeing it like, at this point it's just starting off and we just rebuilt this place, but they're seeing like this is going to be a place where we're going to have a lot of joy. The situation's going to go very well. Like, I feel like they're very, like, they're seeing everything they want to do. They're seeing a lot more possibilities now that everything seems to be more on point. Like, they have all these ideas about what they want to do with this structure now because it seems more sound than it originally was. Good? Okay. Now, what we're seeing over here, and I feel like this is where you're going, your partner has the King of Swords, and I'm getting that they're communicating with you a lot. I'm getting there's a lot of, there's some change going on here. But, like, there's some change going on here, but they're trying to keep a lot of things from, like, what word do I want to use? There is some change here, but there's not an over amount of it. Like, they're trying to hold on to the base of the situation. They're trying to keep the integrity of what it was meant to be. So it's almost like what fell down was this tower, and you rebuilt the tower. So it's still a tower. It's just a different type of tower. It's got a different plan, a different structure, different framework, different walls. But it's still a tower. And they're trying to hold on to the integrity here, and they're communicating that they're working very hard. Like, there's a lot of intellect going on here, trying to keep the situation as recognizable as possible while still strengthening it and making it more reliable. And I'm getting, like, what helps you here is the Two of Pentacles with the Harmony. You're just very much into working with your partner. And I feel like this is one of the reasons you reconstituted, maybe reworked this a little bit, is because you're willing to change direction. You're willing to fix things. If it needs to be redone or fixed, then so be it. As long as the situation as a whole is still going to the same outcome. Because I feel like you're very conducive with your partner. Whatever they want, that seems fine. Because I feel like you're looking at it like it was the walls that were too much before. So, and you're leaving that to them to reconstitute what has to go on there. So if you have to redo the framework to support the walls, then you'll do that. And I just feel like you're balancing it out. With the Two of Pentacles with you especially, I'm feeling like you're balancing it out. And you're just getting along with your partner. It just seems like the situation is really, it's going really well because I feel like you're in a very cooperative, it does say harmony there, clearly. But you're balancing it out. I'm not saying it's a completely an easy situation, but I feel like you're in the mode where you're just like, let's just work it out, let's just make it work. You were both shocked by it falling down. Well, you were really shocked. Your partner just didn't seem to know what to do. But I do feel like this is the right thing. I don't know if I showed this, but this is better for this situation. Like, it was not balanced correctly before. It really wasn't. That's why it fell down. And I'm getting the way you're reconstituting it, it will hold water longer. A lot longer. Alright. I think we're good with that. Because it seems like it's going in a very good direction. It's just like the shock of this falling down, you handling it, them doing their side. Seems like it works out. It's just one of those situations that it has to be redone. Alright, so let's do Taurus singles, single Taurans. Messages for single Taurans, empowering information that help them move forward, empowering information that help them see what they need to see to get the situation going the way they want it to go, to plan ahead, or do whatever needs to be done for a happy ending that they're looking for. That's it for that. Okay. Let's do some of these. You have two really good cards. Where they are, though, is... Well, we'll get to that in a second. Alright, so the two good cards, let's do them first. You're standing in the spot of the sun, which is a very great place, and your thoughts are with the Ace of Cups, which makes me feel like you already have head over heels feelings for somebody. So if this is hitting with you, I'm feeling you already know who you like, and there's a lot of emotion going that way. I'm also getting in the past, like, you had this spark of interest in the past, but it's been growing. Somebody you've been wanting to move towards, and I'm getting, like, things seem to be amping up. Now, I'm getting a lot of passion here. And I'm getting the other person may have shown you this passion first. Now, however this has been going on, I'm getting the main part of seeing the star in the past and the sun down here and the Ace of Cups over here and your thoughts. It's all about saying that you know how you feel about this person. And it's very well established how you feel. Even though that's the situation, I'm getting things are going forward at a really, like, breakneck speeds. Like, they're going forward really fast. Things, it's like a wild ride, and it just seems to go faster and faster. And I'm getting the environment here with this person. The Three of Cups, like, I'm noticing the person on the card mostly. Like, there's a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, a lot going on in this person's life. And I'm getting there's a very social touch to that person. That's how it feels here. And it's pulling in. It feels to you like it's going really fast. The weird thing is you do want to be with this person. It just feels like there's quick changes and it's nerving. It's unnerving. But it's not like you like this person, and it's just like changes are fast. I'm getting also the Eight of Pentacles with the prosperity here. Like, you're at a spot where you're really feeling like there's a lot here to build from. And this looks to you like this could go really far. This could be the relationship you're looking for. I'm just getting like the way the speed feels like it's too much. The speed. And I don't feel like that would be a problem for everybody, but I'm getting the way you build relationships. It's not really... It's one of those things where, like, can we take it slow and steady? And they're like, no, we have to run and dance and jump and woo! And you're like, oh, boy. And you like them to the degree that you're like, all right, I guess we're going to do that then. Are you really going forward? Because it feels like you are. And I'm getting like the Moon card with the Queen of Swords, like, I'm getting there's a little bit of like moon glow going on here for you. Like, you're just kind of caught up in the moment. You're caught up in this person. And you're just all goo-goo for them. Him, her, them, whoever they are. And it's just kind of flowing so easily. But I do see, like, it only goes so far. And it's almost like you wake up one day and you're just like, whoa. Like, whoa, it's too fast. Like, I'm gonna need a barf bag. You're making me sick. I can't do it. It's too fast. It's too fast. Like, I just feel like you wake up one day and you've been trying to go along with it, trying to be okay with it. And just like you're kind of shell shocked, like because I get the Queen of Swords steps in, and that's you. I feel like you just have a moment where you have to say how you feel. I'm getting that's the Queen of Swords because she's very strong, and when she needs to say something, she says something. She says something. If she needs to, she says it. And I feel like that's the moment, like you're just like, oh my God, this is too fast, and you're freaking out a little bit, just a little bit. Now, I hit this bump here, and you're telling the other person you have to slow down. You want it to be able to go with it that quick, and you're making it very clear. I want to keep going, but I has to slow down. It's going too fast. It's just too fast for me. I can't do it. And I think they're really understanding, most of them anyway. They're understanding that it's upsetting you. It's just like it's going so fast. It's just not your tempo, and it's just too much. It's too much. Now, I'm getting here in the future, like I'm getting the true love come to me with the Four of Cups. Now, I'm feeling that this is the other person wanting to go forward faster, but holding back because they're realizing that you can't do it. Like, that's really upsetting for you. That's painful for you. But I'm getting the true love come to me is like they're willing to wait for it. They are willing to wait for it. Okay, so it seems like they're on point. They're like, you're worth waiting for. It doesn't have to go at breakneck speeds. They're like, they do want to go forward a lot faster. They do want that. But they're realizing, like, you tried and that really upset you. It's still going in a good direction, but it needs to slow down a little bit. Maybe a lot of it. Maybe a lot of it. And I do feel like they're willing to do that. And then the last card I'm seeing here, the last two cards I should say, is the Seven of Cups with the Confidence. Because I'm getting like there's another moment coming forward down the line to where you're questioning. You're like, you feel like you could go forward, but you're afraid like it's going to turn into a runaway train again. Their advice is to just have confidence and go forward with it. Because like I feel like it slows down, the other person backs off and like, all right, I can go slower, we can go slower. But then a moment comes towards you where it's time to move forward again, and I feel like you're a little apprehensive. The Seven of Cups is like you have all these thoughts about where this could go, and you got to choose one. And I feel like it's time to choose one, and you're just kind of like nervous, like if I choose one, this could go into a runaway train situation again, and you don't want that. They're saying just have confidence, just choose the one you want the most and go with it. you can always say if it starts going fast again that you need it to slow down again, because your partner seems receptive to that. I'm getting your partner is more cautious after this moment of you having like a moment where you're just waking up and like, it's going too fast, it's going too fast. Because I feel like they're very cautious to that. They love you. I feel like they already love you, and they're realizing this is just your tempo in life. They don't want to upset you. They do want things to go a little faster, but and they're going to probably inch it forward a little faster, but once it seems like it's upsetting you, they're going to pull right back. Because they don't want to upset you. They are excited and would like to keep going forward, but they don't want to upset you. So I do feel like when it's time for you to move ahead again, you're going to be a little nervous because you're going to like, oh, what if this goes crazy again? I don't want to do that again. Yeah, I feel like you're a little like having a little bit of an anxiety moment, to be honest with you. And then you need to go forward. At some point here, you need to go forward anyway. They're just saying when that moment hits, just choose one and go with it. Realize your partner is on your side. If you can even actually create a conversation about that and just say, you know, I'm ready to move forward. I'm just nervous about ending up in that feeling again. And I feel like they're going to actually acknowledge that they're aware that that happens to you, and they're like, I'm looking out for you. I'll make sure it doesn't go crazy. We'll be fine. I trust you, and I trust me. We're going to work this out. It's going to be okay. Your partner is definitely on your side, and they're aware of how certain things are affecting you, so they are looking out for you. So I feel like that last thing is just like, don't be afraid to move forward again. I think you're going to naturally have a little anxiety moment, but like talk about it with your partner. Move forward. Like you want to move forward. They're saying, this is good. Keep moving forward. Just let your partner know that you're a little concerned about things taking off again like a rocket. You don't want that to happen. And the reasons why, like you're very excited to be with them, so you can see yourself falling into that again, but it's going to upset you because I feel like they're going to acknowledge it and be like, yeah, I see how that happened the other time there. I'm looking out for you. Don't worry about it. We'll make this work. Good? Good. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4... Excuse me. Great. James, the number 4astral@gmail.com. Where did that come from? I'm not even reading cards. For the love of Pete. Thank you.